Hey y'all, Chloe's grandpa here, or Rich, whichever you prefer to call me. Storm blowing in. The winds are high. It's raining. But soon, all of that'll be over with, and the sun will be out, and all the rain will water everything, and the leaves will start growing on the trees. Spring will start taking effect. So there's a lot of growth in the storm. There's things in the storm will that seem to help us because in the end, all a storm really is, it's a period of intense growth. Like, let's say that things are just going along and they're just going along, and then something giant happens and it changes everything and things are different. That's what a storm does. Nice calm weather, then all of a sudden there's a storm and there's chaos, and after the storm, but there's peace. But during the storm brings rains and heavy winds, and it changes everything. The temperature. And when the storm's happening, it's loud and it's scary. But then when it's over, it's calm. And all that water you get from the rain helps all the flowers and the grass and the trees. The birds bathe in it, they drink in it, all the livestock, all the animals, you know what I mean? They all relish in the water. We relish in the water. It replenishes what we drink. Because if we didn't have any storms, there wouldn't be any rain. There wouldn't be any growth. There wouldn't be fresh flowers. There wouldn't be green grass. Granted, everything would be calm and peaceful. But without the storm, there would be no rains. There would be no new growth. There would be no water. We would die without a storm. So when we're in our personal storms, it's to give us water. It's to give us what we need to survive. It's not to scare us off or to stop us from doing what we're doing. It's more for just simply growth, for water, for life. And without a storm, you can't have that. I always say that my favorite days are the sunny ones, the warm days where the sun just kind of bounces off of you and you feel wrapped in the warmth of the sun. But I think I'm understanding why people enjoy storms. Because before them, you can feel it, the anticipation of the storm coming in. When you can see it, that is. And then when it's gone, everything smells clean. Everything comes to life. I understand. Because without a storm, you can't appreciate anything. You can't appreciate the flowers if they don't get watered. You can't appreciate the growth if you didn't see what they were before the storm. So the storm, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever storm you're tromping around in, grow from it, learn from it. It's what we're supposed to do. Storms aren't supposed to break us down. Storms are supposed to make us stronger. Storms are supposed to give us what we need to live. Even though sometimes it feels like the storm is just trying to kill us. It's not. It's to help us grow. It's to get us stronger. It's to give us life. Now, yesterday was a beautiful day. 70 degrees. It wasn't super windy. Beautiful day to go outside and do stuff. And I had plans on fixing my fence. But the big problem I had yesterday was I was suffering from a storm, even though it was a beautiful day. For some reason, I couldn't enjoy it. It was a bad breathing day, which it happens. And it kind of takes the fight out of me. It takes all the, what you want to do, and you know what I mean? It beat me up pretty good. Unfortunately, in life, it does that. And I woke up this morning. Well, yesterday it didn't get much better. I went to sleep, and apparently, I tell you all, my mind is going away, and I'm an idiot, and this, and I lose that, and my memory, and blah, 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 blah. Well, last night before I went to bed, I went outside. We used to have a screen door, but when they cleaned out my house, they broke my screen door off because, people don't care about your stuff. They only care about their stuff. And 9 out of 10 chances, they don't care about their stuff either. But we don't have a screen door. But I went outside last night and I came in and went to bed. I don't know what time Tammy woke up. The front door was wide open. I never locked it. So I went to sleep with my front door wide open. Somebody could have just come in and took everything and done whatever. Because I forgot to shut and lock the door. I don't know what I was doing outside or why I even went out there. That's scary. It made me think about some stuff today, which I hate thinking. It causes headaches and nosebleeds. But it's scary. Growing old is not for the weak. Your body starts breaking down, your mind starts breaking down, and then you fear your loved ones watching it happen. Or one day you won't be able to take care of yourself, and then it's going to fall on somebody else's hands to take care of you. And we don't wish that on anybody. But yet, that's where we seem to go with age. and all of that. You know what I mean? Is we always go into a dark place because once we start getting older, we know we're not young anymore. We're getting closer to dying. But the older we get, the more we realize that that's just the way life works, and you got to live every day what you can because you don't know how many days you have. In my case, as I get older, I get grandchildren, Chloe and Wyatt. And as I get older, my lungs get worse, my memory's getting worse. And I worry more about what my future is as far as they're concerned. You know what I mean? Is it going to be their responsibility to take care of me when I can't remember to put on pants? Or when things just get crazy? Or I can't breathe anymore? What does it all mean? You know, where does it put everything? Where does it put your mind? You know what I mean? Where does it put the way you think about things? So I've spent the day praying. I read my Bible. Praying quite a bit, actually. It's not things I ever worried about. But then I see and feel like I'm completely losing my mind when you forget what you're doing before you even get up to do it. Or you forget what you're talking about in the middle of saying something. Or you get up and you don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you got up, or what you were thinking, or what you were talking about, or anything. And it just kind of goes in and out of your mind like it's normal. And when it started, it was okay because it was a little bit here and there. I live in the ghetto, man. I don't have a lot, but I do have things of value here. I got my fencing tools. I got thousands of dollars of fencing tools here. TV, not to mention me and Tammy. We don't have any dogs or anything anymore. But we do have things that are of value, and I just didn't even care about shutting them. I went outside and I didn't secure my own home. Am I going to one day forget to shut the oven off? Because I do that now. But is it going to be one day going to burn down the house because I didn't do it? So, spending a lot of time in my head and praying today, and going to be reading my Bible a bit. Well, not what we're reading daily, not my Bible reading, but I'm going to read other verses in the Bible to get my head in the right place. Because that's how I handle it, is I read my Bible. I'm not smart enough to understand any of this, and I'm not the one who knows the pathways that I'm on. I'm not the one who knows how it ends. I'm not the one who won the victory. God is. So I give all these fears and I give all of it to God. And I pray that he handles it, and he will. He does every single time. But it's while you're waiting is when that storm's hitting. When the storm's hitting, it's trying to break your faith, to shake it, to give up, to think that you have to fix it and not God. That's part of the storm, is it brings doubt. It brings fear, anxiety, depression. All things that are detrimental to our growth. But those are like the side effects of it. We get the healing rain and the winds and all of the beauty that comes with it. But if we're not in the right place, here, we follow the depression. We follow the anxiety. Because it's easier to be scared of the storm than it is to go outside and hold the tree that can't weather the storm. It's easier to be depressed than it is to work at being happy. It's easier to have anxiety than it is to do what you can to not have anxiety. There's many things I feel on a daily basis that I know are not of God. And I know you do too. And I deal with them by talking to God, by praying, by reading my Bible. And I understand that these storms, they come all the time, and some of them last forever. And that's because the next step needs you to grow. You need to be stronger. You need to be ready for the next step. Now, I'm unsure what my next step is, but I give it to God, so I know it's going to be worthy. I know it's going to be worth it. I know that it's going to be part of His plan. So that makes it beautiful. That makes it so I don't have to worry about my memory, my breathing. I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't catch my breath. Last night was another one of those nights. Yesterday in the afternoon was one of those days. And I give it to God. And I have to wait for the answer, or wait for God to get it all straightened out. And that's where the faith and all of that comes in. Because God's timing is perfect. God knows what He's doing. All right, so no matter how you're feeling, no matter what storm you're going through, no matter what it is, give it to God. Have faith that He's going to take care of it. God doesn't want me staying in the house feeling like this. I know it. I know God doesn't want that. God wants me out there smiling and laughing. But for some reason, the devil wants me in here, sad and somber. All right? So y'all go out there today even if you don't want to. Share the Lord, share the gospel, share something that God has done for you today with a complete stranger. Make your neighbor smile, make yourself smile, make your spouse smile, make a child smile. Share happiness, share joy, share the Lord. All right, y'all have a great day, and God bless. God loves you, and so do I. Bye.